Like so many others, I had become a slave to the IKEA nesting instinct. I'd flip through catalogs and wonder, what kind of dining set defines me as a person?
Every year, we spend £22 billion redecorating our homes. It becomes a way of investing into our own identities. So much of social media, like Pinterest, feeds into this and fuels our consumer logic. Room by room, piece by piece, we curate our spaces that reflect who we are, our own individuality. But what happens when you strip away all of the smoke and mirrors? If you design not for image, but for only efficiency. That was the radical idea behind the Frankfurt Kitchen. It was scientific in its approach, a kitchen designed like a laboratory, where every movement was mapped and every surface accounted for. So what could go wrong when tens of thousands of homes are designed like factories? The kitchen is the heart of the home. It's where we cook for loved ones, test recipes and seek comfort. But the modern kitchen wasn't born out of an architecture magazine or luxury design. It was invented as a social project. In 1926, Austrian architect Schütte-Lihotzky designed the Frankfurt Kitchen as part of a bold, innovative housing project. It wasn't glamorous nor expensive. It was about one thing: efficiency. And yet, it completely transformed how we live in our homes. At the time, women carried almost all of the burden for cooking and cleaning. But Marguerite believed if you strip back the design of a kitchen and prioritized efficiency, hygiene, and ergonomics, that women could spend less time in the kitchen and more time on other jobs and on their own interests. She used 3 principles to create the blueprints for the modern kitchen, a design so influential, we're still copying it today. 1. The Golden Triangle Method. She began with motion studies, literally tracking how people moved around as they prepared food, cooked, and cleaned. She discovered a pattern. Most activity happens between 3 key points: the stove, sink, and the food store. She then designed the Frankfurt Kitchen around that triangle. No wasted steps, no unnecessary detours. Everything within an arm's reach. It wasn't about aesthetics or personal taste. It was about applying logic of a scientific experiment. 2. Purpose-built storage. The kitchen was full of ingenious detail, labelled aluminium bins for flour and sugar, a set of 12 measuring cups built right into the wall, a cookbox that trapped waste heat from the stove, and even a chair so that you could sit while chopping vegetables and save your health and back. There were pull-out work surfaces, folding ironing boards, all small innovative things that made daily life smoother. Before this, modern kitchens were a chaotic mix of furniture, tables and cupboards at random heights, jammed together with no system or logic. For the first time, everything had a purpose and everything was in its place. 3. Materials. Nothing in the Frankfurt Kitchen was chosen because it looked good. Every decision was about function. The walls were painted a bluish green to repel flies. The flour container was made of oak to keep out mealworms. Work surfaces were beech, chosen because they were durable and easy to clean. Nothing was decoration. I loved the Frankfurt Kitchen, what it stands for and what it tried to achieve. It was never just a kitchen. It was political and had an agenda, an attempt to give working class families modernity and dignity. If you're in London, you can even see a full-scale version of this kitchen at the V&A East Museum. But despite my admiration, I wouldn't want to live in one. Critics argued that more technology and efficiency doesn't mean less work. It just means higher expectations. And in practice, the kitchen didn't liberate women from household labor. It often just isolated them and put pressure on them to cook faster, better, and cleaner. Because ultimately, there's joy in clutter and inefficiency. I don't love my kitchen because it's organized. I love it because it feels like mine. Design isn't just about function. It's about personality, quirks, and contradiction. The Frankfurt Kitchen is a reminder of the balance we're always trying to chase in design. Too much aesthetics, and it becomes meaningless and decorative. Too much function, and it becomes cold and joyless. The best design, the kind we actually live in, sits right in between, sharing efficiency and expression, science and creativity. That's the paradox of design, where perfection isn't the goal, because the moment something becomes too perfect, it stops being alive. So maybe it's okay to ask, what kind of dining set defines me as a person? That dining set might help you discover something about yourself, as strange as it sounds. Are you quirky, colourful, solid, dependable, or just really efficient? If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to The Design Concept. It really helps to grow the channel.